Post on the corner with yours truly, Incognito. See her on television. The mom, the mogul, CEO, the investor, my best friend. Mia Thornton is here.
Hey.
I'm posted on the corner. I'm posted on the corner.
What's up, bestie?
How's it going?
You tell me.
I mean, I'm here.
Yes?
Yes, happy to be here.
Yeah.
I'm posted on the corner.
Okay. Not your first time being posted on the corner with
No.
me,
It's not.
but this time is different.
Why is it different?
Because there's a lot of questions that needs answers. Are you going to bring me those answers today?
Yes, absolutely. I'm going to give you the exclusive. Let's go.
Okay. Do you have some questions for me as well?
I do. Can I ask you questions?
For sure.
Got you.
All right, for sure. I'm gonna kick it off
So-
lighthearted. Okay, go ahead.
If I was your best friend?
Yeah, I want you around all the time.
All right, period.
All right, here we go. If we were doing karaoke, which we have done, right?
Yeah.
What's your go-to karaoke song?
Oh, okay. So, I mean, I'm going to go ahead and give that to my girl, Beyonce, because, honey, I'm a diva. And if you're going to grab the mic, honey, you might as well just take it home.
Some Beyonce.
Yes.
Can't go wrong with
Can't
Beyonce.
go wrong with Beyonce.
I like that.
Yes.
Keep that love on top. All right, let's jump right into it. RHOP S9 just recently wrapped up.
hmm
How do you feel about this season?
You know, this is a challenging season. And it was because it was probably the most authentic season. Let me rewind that back. Authentic. I was actually living out my real life on camera. And, you know, I have no regrets whatsoever. It's probably also the best season for me personally, as far as development, growth, my relationship. I've gone closer to God. I just feel so much more secure in who I am. So I'm grateful. But it was a lot of mess, y'all. It was a lot. There's a lot going on. I was like, was I there?
It was. So was the mess intentional or did it get misconstrued?
Yeah, and no, none of it was intentional. You know that. You was there.
Yeah.
It wasn't intentional. We were really living our life, and I feel like there's gaps in between the story, and that's okay. Because, you know, when you're sharing a platform with 8 other women, you can't capture it all. Like, they can't be in my house all the time. I got to share this camera, right? So, and I think that the viewers would have more of a deeper understanding if they were able to be that fly on the wall, and they'd be like, oh, okay, so it really didn't go down like that. Oh, okay. Like, there's really important key pieces that I feel like the viewers need to really understand the authenticity and, like, how real we are. And also, too, like, to be able to see how the day-to-day ebbs and flows, you know? So.
How was life before getting on reality TV for you?
Oh, gosh. So, I mean, I've been told I've been a walking reality show since I was a kid. So nothing has changed. The only thing that has changed is I got to watch myself back. Okay? So that's the only thing. Like, I feel like, and I'm really intentional on making sure that I don't allow that to change. Like, I feel like it's okay to be wild, quirky. It's okay to say how you feel. It's okay to be authentically who you are because we are divine and created by God, right? So, but the watching the back of it all sometimes, I'm like, oh, maybe I should just, like, not watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, recently I seen a clip of you on Say Yes to the Dress
Yeah.
that just resurfaced on the internet. Was that your first time being on national television?
Yes, actually. And honestly, the only reason why I agreed to do it that time was because the girls wanted to do it. I called them and I was like, y'all, they want to bring the cameras to the wedding. They were like all excited about it. Of course, it happened here in ATL. Y'all got married at the Chateau Elan in Georgia.
Okay.
So we filmed at, what is it? Brides by Lori in Marietta. Is it Marietta? Decatur? Somewhere in Atlanta. I don't know. It's been, y'all know how my mind works. But that was my first time actually being on national television on a major network. And to be able to see myself back, I'm like, dang, girl, the glow up is real.
Yes.
But I loved it. You know, like, it was a good experience. It was wild. Having cameras on your wedding day was wild.
Yeah.
And I told myself I wasn't ever going to do reality TV again, but here we are.
Yes. And you're doing a good job at it, by the way. A great job at it. Now, paying attention to that resurfaced clip, I know you and Jacqueline have been best friends for years. Like, you all grew up together.
Yeah.
When we first met, I knew about Jacqueline being in Maryland. When you moved to Columbus, you told me about your best friend up there.
Yeah.
I didn't see Jacqueline in that clip. Where was JB?
Okay. So, Jacqueline was in that time. So I had originally asked her to be a bridesmaid, and she messed around and she decided to go get pregnant. So she was giving birth.
Okay.
And she ended up making it to the wedding.
Okay.
And she brought her baby, and her baby was only 2 weeks old. So we gonna give JB the BFF pass. She made it to the wedding with baby in tow, and she traveled by car because you can't put the baby on a plane. So she came all the way from Maryland to Georgia in a car with her mom and PP and baby Ava.
Yes. Oh, who's not a baby anymore?
She's not a baby anymore.
Okay.
She's a teenager.
Are you still cool with any of the bridesmaids?
Yes. So I actually just talked to my girl Jazzy this morning because she lives here in Atlanta. So of course she was trying to connect with the kids. And Shaq, I'm gonna shout out my girl Sharana. She's my sister-in-law. I saw her 2 weeks ago at a basketball game. She came to see my baby boy play. And her kid plays basketball too. And of course, my sister was a bridesmaid. Yeah, so I talked to the majority of them. There's only one that I don't necessarily talk on a day-to-day basis, but I did see her because we have mutual friends. Like, we planned a baby shower together. We were bridesmaids in a friend of ours' wedding together. I was the matron of honor, and they were the bridesmaids. So yeah, I get to see them.
When you mention Jazzy, you're not talking about Jazzy from the show, are you?
No. That's good. I'm glad you cleaned that up. No, it's a childhood friend, Jasmine.
Okay. What was high school like for you?
I mean, it was amazing when I met you.
Yeah?
High school was cool. Like, high school for me was probably, like, I'm fortunate to feel like I go back and I say, okay, high school is where I really grew up. You know what I mean? I had the privilege to be in a Christian academy. I had a privilege to really, based off of my adolescent, grade school, middle school, it was like high school was like the breakthrough, right? I got to meet you, and you showed me around town. It was good. I was a cheerleader. I played basketball.
Yeah.
I had good grades. I was that girl.
Yeah. What high school did you go to?
Calvary Christian School.
Calvary Christian
in
School.
Columbus, Georgia.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So how do you end up from Maryland to Columbus, Georgia?
Oh gosh, like that's a whole nother segment.
Okay.
A whole nother segment.
For sure. Let's get to some of this. Let's get to some of this tea.
Mm-hmm.
Is an ex always one phone call away?
Yeah, actually. Well, some of them are blocked. And I will say that some of them, the door is still open.
Okay, some of them. Who are they?
Maybe one particular one.
Okay. What's our current relationship status?
I think you're my best friend, and I love you dearly, and you will always be a pivotal part of my life. And I am letting go and allowing God to just navigate our future. Like, if we are forever, then it'll happen. And there's no rushing, there's no pushing, there's no forcing. There's just let go and let God.
Sure. Now, we went to the Hawks game last night.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Melissa Proctor. Shout out to Emily,
Yes.
the Hawks staff. And we're sitting up there, and then, you're videoing. And you put a video up of us in your story.
Yeah.
By the time we walked outside the State Farm Arena, it's on the internet. Can you explain this video? Like, it stopped right before what's going on in this video?
I think we were just being organic and at a Hawks game on a Wednesday night being our authentic selves, and there just happened to be a video, and I put it in my story and someone saw it. I just honestly, I didn't feel like it was like that big of a deal.
Yeah.
Because if we're just being us, right? And you asked me for a kiss, and I was like, okay.
Yeah. Did I get the kiss?
Don't you kiss your friends?
I don't kiss my friends.
I do.
So you friends with benefits.
Remember, I shower with my friends and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you friends with benefits.
I'm a good friend.
You're a good friend.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I love all my friends.
For sure. All right. Are you happy in this season of your life?
Yes, I am. I am Happy. I am co-parenting. My kids are thriving. They're doing well in school. They're doing well in the extracurricular activity. Juju is a cheerleader. Jeremiah is taking on baseball. Joshua is on his traveling team, going across the U.S. on his basketball team. Like, there, as a mother and as a business owner and as a woman in general, like, yeah, like there's nothing to not be happy about. I got my best friend back. I got a good solid core of girls who ride for me, um, like ride for me to the core. Like, there's nothing that anybody can say about me that my girls are like, yeah, okay, no, no, they don't know you. So you can't, like, how are you not happy? Like, what else does the girl want?
So you have a superpower, and that's being a mom.
Yeah.
What's the greatest thing about being a mom for you?
Oh my gosh, it's the unconditional love, right? Like, these kids, like, I'm like so fortunate. Like, my children love me unconditionally and they are so good. So being a mom is the greatest blessing. And it's also like the most important job that I feel like I have, that I take dearly. And it's also something that comes natural to me. Like, I'm Mama Mia, you know? Like, it just flows.
How's co-parenting going?
So, co-parenting is co-parenting. I'm gonna say it's like, how you have to work together with someone on a project, and it's like I'm doing 95% of the work, but I still got to smile for the presentation. Yeah, that's co-parenting.
Okay. Have you all reconciled in your marriage? Or are you still separate? What's the status?
We are still legally married. Legally, I have filed, you guys. And we have agreed to our terms, and it's just a matter of, the court system saying, okay, we'll set you free.
Okay.
They make it so hard to get a divorce. You can get married tomorrow. Getting a divorce is like, nah. They like, are you sure? Yes, I'm sure.
I ain't never been
You should have asked me
married.
if I was sure if I wanted to get married.
I ain't never been married and feel like I'm going through a divorce.
Well, wait, hush. That's because you're taking your time and you're waiting for me.
Sure. So that leads to like one of my questions, right? Once your divorce is finalized, are we going to date exclusively again?
I would like to. Are you going to ask me to?
Maybe we'll see once the divorce is finalized.
Okay.
I tried to date you, separated. Maybe I moved too fast.
Yeah. Yeah. So, obviously we can speak on that because that's something that was shown on the TV screen. And I agree with you. I feel like, to your defense, like, I should not have like brought you in to the fold. I should have like said, okay, Daddy G, this is what it is. You out the door, have some space and time, maybe a whole season in between, and then introduce you to the world. But you're you and you've been around, and we're 22 years in. So you coming around for me was like, it's not like you were a new dude. Now, if you were new and I just met you, ain't no way. But it's like, you're my best friend. You've been around. I know your family, like you ain't just on regular Joe. So, and I think that the viewers really didn't get a chance to really get to know you. They just gonna, like, you just popping on in trying to take everybody's wives and kids. Hide your kids, hide your, and that's not fair to you. So in hindsight, I think if I could do it all over again, we would have definitely kept it on the wraps, which we were trying to do though.
Yeah.
Right? But TMZ said otherwise.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then it got amplified.
Yeah.
And then you have to react.
Yeah.
And then get it. Sure. So outside of the co-parenting, are you all back living together, or what's the living arrangement?
No, Gordon is my neighbor, State Farm. And I just, he lives in my building, which, shout out to my girl Drew. Did you see the RHOA premiere?
Yes.
And her husband living in the basement?
Yes.
I was like, yes. Okay. I got that. I see where we going with this. Right? It's no different. No different. Gordon lives in the building. That's like the basement.
Okay. Well, let's get to it and just wrap up this Inc. saga.
Uh-huh.
What is the relationship status? Like, is it for show? Are you, pulling people's legs? What is the authenticity when it comes to relationship of what they labeled it, the love trifecta, triangle or something?
I'm just gonna say that can we like dead that G like it's a lot. And I think just as much as people are probably tired of hearing about it, I'm tired of talking about it. So I think, obviously I'm getting a divorce. There's children involved. It takes time. There is no trifecta because G and I are no longer, and we have been no longer for over 2 years, and that's the other thing with TV, like it's a timestamp, right? It's new for everybody else, but y'all, like we've been separated since 2023. So it ain't new for me. That's why it's so easy for me to like just be able to live out loud with you.
Sure. What's the biggest lie you ever told?
I probably the biggest lie. That's a good one. So first of all, I don't lie intentionally, but just saying. I'm gonna say like maybe that's the biggest lie I just told.
For sure.
Yeah.
Who are you really?
Who am I?
Who are you really?
Good gosh. I'm just a girl. I'm a country girl. I'm from Shady Side, Maryland.
Yeah.
Okay. It's one way in, one way out. Grew up on dirt roads. Okay. And I ate crabs, upper country.
Yeah.
And I went and caught my own crabs to bring them back to grandma for her to cook them with a can of beer. And I'm a country girl. Like running around outside barefoot. I know people, and I'm not lying, y'all. And I was raised by my grandmother. I was placed into foster care. I was adopted by family from the foster care system. Grew up in Dallas. Shout out to Dallas. Miami. Shout out to Miami. And then I finished in Georgia high school because my stepmother lived there.
Do you have any ties to Detroit?
I do. My father's from Detroit.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you ever spend
Born
any time?
and raised.
Did you spend
The
any time?
summers.
What were you doing in Detroit?
It's where I learned how to play spades, okay?
You still know how to play spades?
I do. You want to go? You got a deck of cards?
Yeah, we're going to need two partners.
We don't need two partners. You don't know how to do one-on-one spades?
I ain't never played spades.
Welcome
like
to
that.
Detroit.
For real?
Yes.
Oh, that's something different. Getting back to who you are, who do your best friends say you are?
So my best friends, they tell me all the time, they're like, Mia, you pour. You give so much of yourself that sometimes you don't even leave enough for yourself. And they actually encourage me to like, hey, girl, this is the season where we need you to pour into you. So I like to show up for people if I can. If you call, I'm coming, You do. And I just feel like that's my superpower, Like, all right, I could pack a suitcase real quick and catch a flight in like under 2 hours.
What happens if I don't call?
I ain't coming. Maybe.
Literally. How do you feel about me being a bachelor?
I actually think that it's really respectful and honorable because you're not just out here settling. And I think that there's a message in that. And I think, most people just settle with what's comfortable or what's convenient or what just feels right. Or they feel like, oh, I reached 40, I got to get married. Like, you're like, nah, like, I'm going to go ahead and follow my purpose, live out my dream, which is what you're doing. When we met when we were 16, you told me that your dream was to do radio. And I loved the fact that I think what you're doing, I think it's amazing because you said exactly what you was going to do. And I don't know how many people actually know who and what they're going to be at 16, right? So I just feel like, and you're a Capricorn. And so when you make a decision, that it takes you a while to get there, but when you get there, like, it's bond. So that's why you're not married. You're not settling.
Think I know what I want?
Yeah. Yeah.
I believe I know what I want.
Yeah, what is it that you want? Don't make me blush. I'm yellow. I will turn red.
Have you spoken with Karen since her sentencing?
Can you phone a friend in jail?
Securus. Isn't that's the number? Securus. They call you have a call from?
No, she gotta call me.
Sure.
And I gotta accept, right? I'm gonna call and say, hey, y'all got Karen Hooger. She might not have her wig on, but she in there somewhere. Go find her. Am I supposed to say that? Is it like a community photo?
Well, photos should be coming out soon.
God. No. I have not spoken to Karen in all seriousness. G has talked to Ray. He did call, and they're supposed to be getting together and having like a lunch date. Yeah, and I think that that's beautiful. I think it's really important to like rally around the family and making sure we're supporting where we can. Um, and it's a really sad situation. But no, I have not spoken to her because she probably don't want to talk to me.
Understood. Who's your Mount Rushmore of reality TV stars?
Oh, that's a good one. Okay, so I'm gonna give it to all right. So I'm gonna give that to Nene, the legend. I'm sorry, she's crazy, she's wild, I love her, and I think she's a great housewife. I'm gonna give it to Bethany Frankel because the way that she flexed the platform and made that skinny girl margarita, and now she living in her house in the Hamptons, honey. Okay, goals. Teresa Giudice because the girl knows how to flip a table. Yes, that's my kind of bitch. Oh, okay? Play that back. Felt that. And I'm gonna say that I'm carving out a spot for me, honey. Okay, because I'm just getting started.
Yes, you are. Now, I saw you put out a tweet. Last time I checked it, within like 36 hours, you're over at 700,000 views on this tweet alone that says, "Hey, RHOA season premiere makes me want to move to Atlanta full time." What's the origin of this tweet? What you had going on?
I mean, did you see the premiere?
I did.
Oh my gosh, the girls are coming in hot and they're slaying the aesthetics, the way that they were showing ATL, the way that the girls were showing up, they look good. I just felt like they liked each other. They looked like they were real friends. I'm like, I want to be a part of the real friend crew. You know what I mean? And they a little shady. Well, I was catching the shade, but it was cute shade, like real girlfriend shade, right? I was like, all right, my kind of girls. They're bossy, they're mothers, they're business owners. There's no cattiness, no jealousy, except for some of the aunties. Okay, but I feel like no shade. Let me not talk about a girl, but it's my kind of crew. You know what I mean? Like the elevation of it all, the glitz, the glam, the aesthetics, the pull-ups, the cars, the houses. Yes, sign me up. And that's where it came from. Like I had watched the premiere. I was like, all right, I love ATL, always have. You know what I mean? I love being down here with you. I love the city. I love the food. I love the people. Like ATL shows so much love. And it's like, it's so artsy here. Like they're creatives. Like back home in DC is real political. Y'all know I don't do politics, okay? Keep me out of that circle, right? Art and entertainment, that I can do. Okay.
Or do you have a connection with any of the housewives on the cast of this season?
Of Atlanta?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you were with me. We saw Portia and Cynthia down in Miami and loved them to death. Marlo, she ran into me in DC at home. Remember? She rolled in. We ran into Sonya at the Dream game. Drew has reached out a couple times, wanted to chat. Let's see, Kelly's from Baltimore. I haven't met her, but we got that Baltimore connection. So yeah, there's a lot of who am I missing? I don't want to miss. Oh, Kenya. Spent time with Kenya out in Vegas, which was so cool. We ran into each other in the spa, which yeah. And she actually asked about you in the spa, and I had shades on in my spa robe, and she was like, Mia. I was trying to hide in the spa. But yeah, there's a lot of synergy there. And my girl Portia, she shows so much love, always has. Like when I hit the scene, she was like, girl, yes, and I love her energy. She's fun,
Who has given you the best advice since being on this reality TV journey, and who was it?
Ooh, okay. The best advice. So I'm gonna say everybody's advice has been boo-boo, but and I'm not following it. Okay, I'm not clearly, because when I started, when I do follow advice from people, it don't work. Okay, I am like a unique boutique situation. You know what I mean? It's like not one size fits all over here. So, but I will say that the person who has given me the most, the best advice when I was a child growing up was my grandmother. And she told me never to argue with fools, okay? Because they will bring you down to their level and then they will out fool you, because they're bigger fools. So don't argue with fools. Get up and walk away. I did that at
What
the
are your
reunion.
favorite taglines?
Oh gosh. Okay. For mine, like a housewife tagline, it would be okay, let me think. I mean, I'm gonna say it's my opening tagline when I first hit the scene. You ready to pop off? I'll be happy to get you adjusted.
Yeah.
Yes.
In this industry, back to that piece of advice, is there anybody in the industry who's giving you some advice
Yeah.
that stuck?
No.
Okay, you talked about your tagline in reference to getting things popping. What is life like being a CEO and an investor?
You know, it's amazing. You know, it's really lonely at the top. I tell people that all the time. I think that there's a lot of responsibility around running an organization. You know, I don't get to clock out. And sometimes I wish I could just clock out and be like, y'all figure this out. But it's also such a privilege and I don't take it for granted. And I do thank God for it because I know that it's a seat that I sit in that a lot of people wish that they were sitting in. And, you know, I would just say, just make sure you got like a good team in place. You're only as strong as your team. Like, yeah, y'all may know me, but it's really the people that you don't see that are making it go round. You know what I mean? And I don't take it for granted. And people work for people, they don't work for companies. So I always embody that on a day-to-day basis. And I think make sure that you have like a good accountant and a better lawyer, and you're all good, you know? So it's definitely, it has its ups and downs, but so does everything, you know? But I would bet on myself any day.
When it comes to business advice for a young entrepreneur or someone who's new in the CEO game, what's that rule that you were telling me about with the 52 weeks in the year and the days
Yeah,
calendar?
yeah. Okay, so all right. I see you taking my drip. All right, so I always lean on if you were okay. So there's 365 days in a year, 12 months in a year, right? You got 52 weeks in a year, 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. If you were to work 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 12 months a year for 365 days, you are still capped out if you were to work every single hour. So you have got to duplicate yourself, right? So you have to, like, you're capped out and you can't cap yourself out because when you cap yourself out, that's it. So, and, you know, being a CEO is really all about developing people and duplicating myself and making sure everybody is in the position where they need to be in order for us to come together and continue to grow, right? So, and that's like, I don't know, that's like the thing that I live by.
Do you currently own any businesses right now?
I do. I do. So I am still a joint chiropractic franchisee. I do have a location in DC that is still open and operating, guys. Wisconsin Avenue, go on in and get adjusted. Walk-ins welcome. And I'm looking to purchase one in Fairfax. So I might continue to build that portfolio. I also am owning and getting ready to launch Messy Mia, which
What?
is, yes,
Messy Mia.
Messy Mia. It's a luxury home organization company. I don't know which market we're going to start in, so I don't want to pre-launch that, but it's coming soon, spring, summer 2025. Get ready. You need me to come in here and clean up your mess, y'all. You know I know how to make messes, so I also know how to clean them up.
Oh,
And there's a couple other investments and business deals that I have on my portfolio. And I look forward to sharing that with you guys soon.
if you could build a home anywhere in the country, where?
Anywhere in the country.
Yes.
You know, I'm going to say Bali. You want to know why? Because the infinity pools and the weather and the rain and the exclusivity, like, put me out in the middle of nowhere. Okay, so I can sit naked in my pool and mind my business. Most people need to start minding their business.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Bali it is.
If you had to build it in the United States,
I'm going to go with Houston.
yeah?
Yeah, I'm
Or
going to go,
H-Town.
or Texas even, right? Because I just feel like the Texas market is just so amazing right now, and you get land, and we can build a big old house, and I can build compounds for the kids so they always have a place to come home to. And, they can bring their kids back home too. And we can be out in the middle of nowhere with our chickens running around and horses or whatever we want to do and mind our business. Okay.
Okay. Do you have any questions you'd like to ask me?
Yeah.
What you got?
Yeah. So, okay. I'm gonna say why ATL?
Why not ATL? You got to think about the excellence that comes from this city. The soundtrack to the world is in Atlanta. The clothes you wear, the
Yeah.
entertainment, staple. Like we're in entertainment,
Yeah.
and that just so happens Atlanta is sports, film. It's here.
Yeah.
Nothing's greater. You go look at majority of the movies, shows that come off.
Hmm.
Once the credits are done rolling, you at the bottom.
Yeah.
I can show you 5 movies for every one you show me. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? That is produced here in Georgia. So just Georgia, the entire state, I love it because this
Hmm.
country, I heard you reference upper country earlier, and that's our inside thing. So, I like to joke with you about you being upper country, and I say
Yeah.
I'm lower country.
Hmm.
When you were saying you was going to the water to get the crabs, we had the chickens running around in
Yeah.
the yard, and they go grab the chicken. So we cooking chicken, and y'all cooking crabs.
Yeah.
It's the same thing, tomato,
No,
tomato.
it's not the same thing.
It's like the same lifestyle.
No, crab, chicken, totally different meat. Okay.
Okay, that's facts. Okay, up
I don't
north,
eat chicken.
up top, y'all will say like pop, we say soda.
Okay. Yeah.
You know what I
All
mean? It's
right.
the same,
Okay.
along the same lines
Mhm.
of what I'm trying to say. So,
Mhm.
the difference of the upper country and the lower country, but why not Georgia?
Yeah.
Or I'm open to anything,
So, how did you end up back in ATL? Like, what's your love language of Cleveland?
So Cleveland gave me the greatest opportunity ever.
Mhm.
That's a great question, by the way.
Mhm.
I was doing my radio career here in Atlanta, and Atlanta showed me that dreams can come true. Well, the thing was, once I got to Atlanta said, "Yeah, dreams can come true, but how big are you dreaming?"
Yeah.
And I didn't have that answer at that time in my life. So I got the greatest opportunity to move to Cleveland, Ohio, and further this brand posted on the corner. Without Cleveland,
Amazing.
Ohio, would have never been any syndication because of the audience that they're in the Midwest. Like Cleveland is close to Detroit. And the show expanded from Cleveland to Columbus, Ohio, to Cincinnati, Ohio. Cincinnati is right there by Kentucky,
Mhm.
even closer to Indiana,
Mhm.
Indianapolis. We don't
Mhm.
air out there. So it just opened up the Midwest and the love that those people give you. Like most stars, when they
Yeah.
start those leg tours or put a product out, I say shout out to the Midwest
Yeah.
because the Midwest is cold, but it's cold.
Yeah.
That's a
No. And they love you.
yeah, for
I
sure. I
love
love
I love
them.
the love in Cleveland. All right. So, the other question I would have is, okay, so you're in over 20, you're syndicated in over 20
Yes.
markets.
Yes.
What's the next entity? Like, what's your 5-year plan?
With just me as a
Yeah,
person or post on the
markets.
corner. All right,
Posted on the corner.
we're talking about post on the
Where are
corner.
we taking posted on the corner?
Man, well, to be honest, it's already written. I got
Uh-huh.
the greatest listeners on radio,
Yes.
and they're the reason why this show is growing rapidly.
Mhm.
Because like I just said, I think I've been back in Atlanta now 5 years.
Mhm.
Being back in these 5 years, when I moved back, we had 7 markets. We had 22 now.
Mhm.
So it's like the math is just
Amazing.
it's rotating so fast, but with anything you get out what you put in. So what's happening is my listeners are expanding the brand. I'm
Mhm.
connected to resources that's helping amplify the brand.
Mhm.
And also I'm living authentically by, introducing this side and being vulnerable of my life. I'm really
That
not
was my
incognito
next
anymore.
question. Okay, Incognito, like you outside.
Yeah.
That's not how you normally like maneuver, and I know that because I know you. So what does that feel like knowing that like for so long like people can hear you, but now they can see you? Like what does that feel like? And um like how do you feel like do you feel like it's something that you want to move into like another space? Like are you going to be are you going to continue to be incognito or are you moving into like Mr. Ink? Like what we doing?
All right. Well, yeah, incognito is gonna be forever on the radio.
Okay,
But
perfect.
outside of that microphone, when people see me out, it's not like they saying it's too many words anyway. So they be like ink, ink,
Ink.
ink, ink, ink.
Yeah.
And then the ink comes from like the Mr. Ink comes from like younger kids and more so like the littles in our lives. They're like, hey, Mr. Ink.
Yeah.
So it's just a respect that's on the Mr. Ink. And I don't have a problem with the Mr. Ink because when it's
Okay.
time to put that tailored suit on and
Yeah.
things of that nature, and we go to them ball gowns and we walk in them red carpets. That is the Mr. Ink
Okay.
mindset and approach.
All right. What's your top 3?
Top 3,
What's your top 3? What's values?
love, first of all. Put here,
Mm-hmm.
love, purpose,
Mm-hmm.
passion.
Okay.
God above all.
Yes.
Sure. But that
Okay.
goes without being said.
Yes.
Family.
I was
That's
gonna say,
important.
what?
Love
If
is
I
family,
had to do
though.
it for you, I would say God, family, love.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
all the same, though.
No, actually, I would put radio in there
Would.
because this is your love.
You know?
Radio is your first love, 1000%.
I think
And
you
I
had,
can say that.
I think you had a
You used to drag me along to the station.
yeah.
You want to tell a story? You
What
know
story?
what? You want to tell the story?
What story?
That's the biggest lie I ever told.
What's the biggest lie?
I know the biggest lie you ever told.
Okay.
Cycle back. Rewind.
Okay.
I know the biggest lie you ever told.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about?
Share.
You share. It has to do with the radio station. It has to do with you lying on me.
I want to hear your POV. You brought it up. Give it to me.
All right, y'all. So when we were dating, we were kids, y'all. We were 16 years old. Were we dating technically? No.
No. Not
Like
at that
we
time.
we
It's
were
like
you were
17.
showing interest. I had given you my number. We had went out a couple times. And it really wasn't like anything. I was like, oh, okay, I don't know. Like, you know, like when we were kids, it wasn't really nothing serious anyway. Like, let's be real. And one of my homegirls, she's like, yeah, I heard that you like gave up the cookie. And I was like, I did what? No, I didn't. Who told you that? She was like, Ink said that told so-and-so. And I was like, no. So what did we do? What did your friend do at the time? Put you on a 3-way call. I was on the call and you got busted. You lied on the cookie. You did. But what did I do? Let me tell you. So the next day, no, that night, I had my girl take me to the radio station in Columbus, Georgia, and I made you an honest man in the radio station.
How you love
Exclusive.
that. Well,
I'm just saying. And you could confidently go back to class the next day and say that you told the truth.
right. Define a male best friend.
Someone that you make an honest man.
Okay, that's good. Why did you walk out the reunion?
Child, because no one had time to be sitting there talking about all that crazy mess. And plus, my feet were hurting. I had enough. I had enough. Like, legit, I wanted to take that dress off.
Yeah.
I couldn't breathe. My feet were hurting. We had been sitting there. A lot of people don't realize that we filmed the reunions for like 14 hours. It was like hour 10. Okay? Like, labor laws kicked in at that point. It's time for me to go.
I would like to personally commend you on your growth.
Thank you.
And,
Did
you
you
know, a lot of people like to try to keep you in a place where they met you at
Yes.
or think that you're still at. But
Yes.
when I bring this up, I'm only using it as a reference. So
Mhm.
for knowing you 20 plus years in any other type
You
of
know I was
situation,
about to
that
knock the
type
brakes off our head, right? You know that, right? We seen that happen.
allegedly.
So when the growth was to exit.
Yes.
And let's be real, okay? Can we talk about it?
Yeah.
And I'm a name drop. Giselle knows daggone well that she would not speak to me that way if there was no security and not the platform. She would get her head knocked off by anybody talking to anybody that way. So the fact that I got up and I was being the bigger woman and I exit left, that let's just be real. Like, who's being real here? She's like, you're not out here talking to people like that. You're being a fake. You're phony. You're doing it because of what's going around. So, and I don't know how to do fake. I don't know how to do phony. I keep it real, right? And I would have really knocked her head off, okay? So I had to leave. Let's be real.
What do you feel most misunderstood about outside of lying?
You know, that's probably the most thing that I feel like is misunderstood. You know, other than that, I think that a lot of times people, you know, they judge me off of like physicality. They're like, oh, she's pretty. Oh, this, oh. And it's like, no, y'all, like I actually get dirty. You know, like the real is me sitting in the back in a storage room, sitting on top of a dusty box, counting inventory, or, you know, on my computer like this with a turban on my head, because that's where I get my best work done. And I feel like people obviously don't see that side. Like I'm a hustler. Like I will get up at 3, 4 o'clock in the morning and start working before the chickens get up. And, you know, it's probably not so pretty, right? So it's not good TV. But let's be real, like that's the real. And I think that a lot of times people feel like, you know, oh, um, this is a good one. A lot of times people see G because of his age and he presents well. Because I cleaned him up, y'all. Y'all need to go back to like 2012 and see what that man was looking like, honey. He was wearing Tommy Bahama and Jesus sandals, I swear to God. Okay? Clean him up. He ain't had no beard. A mess. But they think, oh, okay, older guy, she must be with him for his money. And a lot of times people don't realize that after we paid for that daggone wedding, he was broke. Okay? So we had to come together, get these coins, building a business and an empire. We built it together. And I think that that's something that a lot of people don't really like, because they met me as, you know, they met me where I was and we had already rebuilt. And I think that it's really important to like not judge a book by its cover, not to take away from the value that he added, because he obviously had proven himself to be successful, had ran companies, had a network, had people that for us to reach out to where investors could come in. But at the same time, like it wasn't going to do it on its own. So I I really wish that we can like cycle back and really tap into that, you know?
When do you feel most alive?
Um, when I'm able to be a mom, when I'm in the kitchen, like just, you know, cooking for the kids and like really just doing arts and crafts and doing all the fun stuff with the kids. Like that's where I really do, like, it's my purpose, you know?
Do you have any favorite scenes from behind the scenes that you could see?
Yeah, actually, a lot of them. You know, we film a lot. We have filmed several times at the office, and that doesn't get shown because it's, you know, there's no drama. I won't allow the girls to come and argue and act a whole half fool in my place of business, because let's be real, that comes first. And so it gets cut out because it's not like there's no mess because I got my shit together. And I think because you never see me physically working, or, you know, at this point, do any of us work, right? I think that I would love for all of those tapings of me doing construction walkthroughs, of me working with the architect, of me working with the construction crew, with me like, you know, really showing that side. I would love for the world to see it. Right? Because when I first hit this platform, there were 2 open locations in the DMV market. Right now, as I sit here today, I sold 22 locations. It's a flex, right? It's a marketing engine. Don't get me wrong. Like, we ain't out here just being messy for no reason. No one's doing TV just to be doing TV. We ain't doing that. But I think that there's a gap. Like, I would love for the viewers to be able to say, oh, wow, okay. So she messy. She know how to have a good time. She a little quirky and all over the place, but she's also a boss, 9 to 5, right? We're missing it. You see it.
What are you most surprised about yourself since getting on reality TV? What have you learned?
I learned that I'm just as crazy as I thought I was. Like, you know, people like Mia, you know, you a little. And, you know, one of my good friends, let me tell you, she told me, she goes, Mia, you are a shark when it comes to your bag, but you are a sheep when it comes to your personal life. And I think that, like, that's what I have learned about myself too. You know what I mean? And I'm treating these girls like they're my personal friends, but they're not. I need to be treating them like they business, and I need to become a shark. But I really like them. That's the problem, you know? When you like somebody, you just kind of like buckle down and you kind of melt and you feel all fuzzy inside. Yeah. You don't think so?
I know.
Yeah.
What makes you laugh no matter what?
You?
Huh?
Yeah, you crazy.
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Moving right along. What's your favorite family tradition, and how do you keep that alive?
Oh my gosh, dinner table chaos, okay, and the roasting sessions that happen at the dinner table.
Yeah.
And I like to invite new people to the dinner table so we can roast new people. Because let
Yeah.
me tell you, it goes down at dinner time. I'm
Yeah.
like, are y'all my kids? My kids be roasting me. Like, dang, especially Jew. Jew is the one. Ain't she the one?
Yeah.
She'd be like, she get it from her mama.
She told you she can't. She told you that you can't. She told you that you can't marry me.
Yeah. But then she'd be like, Mr. Ink, what you buy me today? I'm like, I gotta watch you. She do. She like, what you bringing me? And I love that about my children. I love that they feel like they are empowered enough to speak their mind and say what they want to say. And they stay in their lane. Some of it's a little borderline, but they stay in their lane. And I think it's really powerful to have a 7-year-old that feels comfortable enough to say that. But them dinner table traditions, child.
Yeah.
Don't do away with it, guys. Have dinner with your families. That's when you learn about the kids, okay?
What is a hidden talent that you have that we may not know about?
I mean, okay, so I do animal calls. I think I feel like y'all know about that though.
You do animal calls?
Yeah.
I ain't never heard you do.
You have. Well, it's a hidden talent. But you have.
For real?
Yes.
It might have been a while.
Yes, I know how to do a monkey call.
Don't do it.
Don't
do it. Don't do it because you're going to make the face.
Ooh,
Okay.
I
hear it
you want me to
later.
do it?
I can hear it.
You want me to
later.
do it?
No, you ain't got to hit the ooh.
You scared?
Yes, for sure. I don't want to hear. What's your favorite? What? What is your favorite childhood memory?
Okay, so when it comes to child, Lord of mercy, I'm gonna say, oh gosh, I mean, childhood. I'm gonna say, when I turned 13, I had like this big birthday party at the Rio in Rockville, Maryland, because I was living in Montgomery County. Shout out to Potomac. And like I got to I had all my friends from school, and then I got a Nintendo Super Mario Kart for that, and we went back to the house and we plugged it up and figured it all out, all them cords. Like, God, you remember that? Had to hook the cords to the TV, and everybody stayed over. We had a summer party, and we put toothpaste on each other in the middle of the night. Remember, we used to do stuff.
Yep, pranks. You just do stuff like that when you sleep over. Yeah,
we are the reason why our kids don't have sleepovers today. Okay, and I just remember it just being like everybody coming around and celebrating me. I had never had a birthday party. That was my favorite, and my dad was there. And it was just great. Yeah.
What's your favorite memory with us?
Oh, besides making you an honest man. So I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna say, oh, God, there's so many. That's a hard one. Be good. There's so many, Ink, like, honestly, but I will say that, like, my favorite would have to be when you and my father went and hung out. And my dad did not like you. But then when y'all went and hung out, and I remember waiting at home. Oh my God. And he came home and he was in love with you. And I was like, see, Daddy, I told you. He a good one. Okay. And he was like, okay, so I see where you're going with this, baby girl. And I think that was like my fate, like to have his approval. And after that, he was obsessed with you. Like, he don't want to see nobody else. And I also love that you are also the last man that he knows before he passed. I think that there's power in that. And that's a connection that we have. And I will forever be grateful for you for that.
Like that's a driving force. Relationship. It's a responsibility.
Yeah.
And accountability, purpose.
Yeah. Because he wasn't rocking with your with the throwback jerseys and fitted caps. He just was like, who is this dude? Like, Remember, he wanted me to date Jack and Jill dude,
Huh?
which I wasn't feeling. He was boring.
Okay, then. Have you ever recorded any songs?
Oh gosh, you know the answer to this.
I'm asking. You got a song out
you
there?
made me record a song. Do you have that song?
You
Why did y'all put me on a mic? Y'all know I can't sing.
okay?
Yes,
We
it
gotta
was
find the
Kanye
song.
West.
Uh-huh.
And I was telling someone to do it faster. That's all I remember. Do it fast.
And you don't like it fast these days. I'm
Be
sorry.
good.
I'm sorry.
It's like 12. It's in the middle of the day here. It ain't even dark outside.
It's dark in here.
Okay.
We at the radio station.
Keep going. Next
What does
question.
touring look like for you? What does touring look like for you? Don't do it. Don't do it.
Okay, hold on. Woo, okay. Touring, like going on tour?
Yes.
Like a live tour?
Yeah, just touring. Like Mia on the road. We have the
Yeah.
cities. Let's talk about like Baltimore, Houston, Dallas, Washington,
Yes.
D.C., Chicago, Miami, Atlanta.
Yeah.
You're here in Atlanta now.
Yes.
We want to see you.
Yeah.
We want to talk to you.
Yeah, there's been conversations around that, right?
Mhm.
Because you're right. Like, I go into a different city, a different market. The energy is always, so much love, but it's different in certain cities. Like, and I think it's really important to like, a lot of times people, they get the energy doesn't lie, right? And the number one thing that I hear and the feedback that I get from our fans is like, oh my gosh, like, you're so much better in person. Girl,
Yes.
that TV does nothing for you, And I take heed to that because that tells me like energy does not lie. Like you can't fake it. You could try to fake the funk, but it ain't gonna last long, right? But and I think it's important for, to get out and to be in the community and to give back, like we're blessed and we're fortunate to be where we are. You're a radio personality, I'm a TV personality. I think it's important to like really leverage like the blessing and leverage that to raise awareness and raise money for people who need that reminder that, hey, if we can do it, you can do it too, right?
Yes.
We just little old Ink and Mia from Columbus, Georgia. I worked at Hooters, Eckers before that. You was working at FYE,
We opened up a Best Buy together.
We did open up a Best Buy. I flexed Best Buy, okay? That's when I really knew. I was like, oh, okay. They put me at the front door and I was selling the crap out of everything. Buy the TVs. I'm gonna give you some credit to go get that TV. Just meet me back at the cash register. I got you, right?
Yes.
Get the biggest one. And it was like, that's when I learned how to like really navigate business in Best Buy. I'll forever be grateful for that. Remember that?
Yes, I do. If you had to take a road trip and could only listen to one album on that road trip, what album is it?
I'm gonna give that to my boy John Legend and Love in the Future. Timestamp. When did that come out? 2013.
That's a great album.
Best album. I'll ride that album out from start to finish any day. Yeah.
Sure. Well, here we are. Just wrapped up S9. Introduced our friendship
Yes.
to the world.
Yes.
I wasn't at the reunion.
No. Why weren't you at the reunion, Inc?
I didn't have a formal invite, first of all. And just based on the storyline at the time, I was the biggest fan of what was being portrayed because the real is this.
Mm-hmm.
And anytime you need my support, I'm always going to be there. You won't even have to call. I just want it to be real and authentic. But one thing I do know about you, Queen, is that you don't need a supporting cast and you don't need codependency. I believe you held that up because we would have had to walk up out there like Martin and Gina at Martin class reunion. They said,
Yes.
we would have had to walk up out of there
Yes.
like that. So, but if there's ever another opportunity outside of this one, because I believe we established what it is and what it ain't, you don't never have to worry about that. again, especially formally invited or informally invited.
Yeah.
Because I'm never too far.
You're supposed to be my rider, and I'm your rollie. Without us, we do things together. Is that how it go? Did I misquote that?
That what you
Beyonce,
said?
don't get me.
I know what you mean. I know what you mean. If you rocking, I'm rolling. You
All
know what I'm
right.
saying?
Okay, let's go.
And we gonna control it. What does S10 look like for you?
Woo. Okay, so there is negotiations.
Okay.
So I can't confirm. But I would love for S10 to be, again, tapping back into the real of and the CEO Mia. You know, I'm working on a collaboration with DSLB, and we're bringing a dinner series to the DMV, and we're partnering with, you know, powerful, influential people inside of the DMV and female founders, minority business owners, and it's also a men's panel that's going to be there as well. And I want the world to see that. I want the world to see like us all coming together and supporting one another. And, you know, yeah, we do the catty, crazy stuff that people love to see, but I feel like they also need to see the power behind what it's like to be a female founder or a minority business owner. And there's a mental health segment, the men's panel. We're going to have someone come in, and men are going to speak on mental health stigma in society and why it's not a topic of discussion and why people feel like they can't discuss that. We got to bridge that, and not for us, but for the next generation that's coming up under us. It's a real thing. And resources and tools and, you know, like it's not about the problem, it's about the solution. And I just think that I would love for the world to see that. So S10 would be that. I would love the world to see, you know, me running around throwing kids out the car because we got to go to cheer, we got to go to baseball at the same time. All right, get out the car, girl. You know what I mean? Like, I just think the real, what we're all doing, we're all like navigating so many different hats. And I don't want to pretend to be perfect Betty, clearly, right? I think that it's important for people to see like the struggle and how, shout out to my glam team. If it wasn't for them, I'd be looking like everybody else.
Oh.
just kidding. No shade. I got my neck together though. Yeah.
In closing, I appreciate your time and intention, right?
Mm-hmm.
First of all, do you feel like we left anything on the table? Do you have another question for me? Or
There's so much ink, like really, you know, yeah, there's a lot on the table, but I feel like, you know, stay tuned next season.
me or more?
Yeah, you know, we've known each other for 22 years, okay? Yeah. We can't dissect a conversation in an hour. Like there's so many layers.
Okay.
So many layers.
Why are we talking now? Why didn't we do this? Why are we talking now?
Because you told me to come in here and talk to you today.
Is that how it happened?
I think so. You know, and I honestly, let's keep it real, right? I think that our relationship is so organic and it's so real that you let me stay in my lane and you try to stay in your lane. But, you know, I think as of recently, we realized that like we might be stronger together, you know?
I believe.
Yeah, you know, there's no Barack without Michelle, and there's no Michelle without Barack. So let's go. What you doing? Stop playing. Okay.
You know they're gonna eat us up.
Yeah.
Carrying the Obamas. They gonna.
I'm just saying. Okay.
We more like the people. You know that sign in the schools on.
Yeah.
With the man and the woman. Yeah. That's the first successful black couple you ever seen that ain't separated. That's us.
And they look just like you.
You got jokes. All right, that's what's up. In closing, I want to let you know, I want to procreate. How do you feel about that?
You want more children?
Yeah.
I say, let's go.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
I'll see you on the next time, best friend. Hold it down.
Let's go.
Posted on the corner.